We studied English at Curtin University during stay in our Australia. Today, we will talk about Curtin facilities, Curtin English, our classmates, and our homestay. First of all, let me give you some brief information about Curtin University. This university is located in Perth, Western Australia. This is the largest university in Western Australia with over 50,000 graduates since the 1987 foundation. Curtin is known for rich in internationalism. About 70,000 foreign students from 130 countries are studying there. Next, I'll talk about Curtin's facilities. Each building has a number like this. Such a unique picture is drawn on some buildings. We usually went to the bookshop, library, cafeteria, and so on. The library is the facilities we used most. It was very spacious. There are many laptops from the first floor to the third floor. And there are many books from the fourth floor to the sixth floor. We always went there after school to study or do our homework. When we are in the library, people took pictures of us. Possibly, we may appear in Russia next year. These pictures were uploaded on the Facebook page of Curtin University. You can see our pictures on Facebook. There are some cafeterias on campus. We are always having lunch at a cafeteria. There are many various kinds of food, such as fried rice, fried noodle, and sushi. You can try it if you go there. Moreover, Curtin has a hair salon, art gallery, outdoor cinema, and some banks. So, Curtin University is just like a town. In this way, this campus is very large, so it's hard to get around. How large is the campus, you think? Here is a question. How many times larger is this university compared to Tokyo Dome? Please clap your hands for the answer that you think. A, 5. B, 15. C, 20. D, 25. Thank you. Answer is D. This area is 25 times of Tokyo Dome. That means 116 hectares. The area of Curtin University is about the same as the University of Ryukyu. You have to watch building numbers carefully, otherwise you might get lost. In my experience, I had an awesome study tour because being a foreign country is a first for me. Best of all, I was able to join a street dance. It was a very special time. Secondly, I saw a lot of differences from Japan. Thirdly, I made many international friends. I was able to enjoy such a wonderful experience thanks to my mother and father. Thank you. Next, Anya is talking about Curtin's English.
Let me tell you about pathways at Curtin English. Curtin English is a language in Curtin University. The program has 4 different classes divided by each student's level, such as GE course, EAP course, GPE course, and ELB course, last Curtin University. The school has promotion system. To be promoted, students have to take an examination. Ichino and I took classes at G3A. Mizuki took classes at GE4A. Oka took classes at GE4B. GE3 and GE4 are also divided into Class A and Class B. We use this purple textbook at GE3. Mizuki and Oka also use this textbook at GE4. Here's what we studied in GE3 and GE4A and B. Mostly, we studied basic English conversation with classmates, and we told each other about culture. People from Kuwait, Thailand, and Brazil were in this class. Mostly, in particular, we learned table manners. We enjoyed trying it. Next, I will introduce about Mizuki's GE4A. The class is more advanced than GE3. Mostly, she studied in pairs. In class, they practice telling our opinions, telling others their opinions, and listening others' opinions. There are many Chinese students in this class. Mizuki said their thought was similar to Japanese. On the other hand, at GE4B, there were no Japanese students. Oka said, I felt so good because I got the chance to speak English. Most students were in their 20s and 30s, and they were married. They were already married, and they studied at Curtin English for various reasons. Most classmates said English is very important for this generation. I thought that the Australian education was better than Japanese education. Next, Mizuki is going to talk about classmates.
I'm happy to meet you today. I'll show you our interesting classmates at Curtin. They are from Hong Kong, Colombia, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, South Korea, Vietnam, China, Kuwait, and Thailand. Most students are from Asia. Most of our friends are of the same generation. The youngest was 18, and the oldest was 32. I was an especially good friend with Bob. He is Chinese, who is 23 years old. We sometimes had lunch together, and we talked a lot. Then he often said to me, "You can't pronounce sounds. Not tree, it's three. It's difficult for me to pronounce the sounds." In addition, he always amused us with his humorous comments. We really like talking with him. He is not only a student, he is a janitor at the building. He works 5 days a week until late, so we knew why he was late for class every morning. By the way, here is a question. What is Bob's hourly wage? Please clap your hands for the answer that you think. A. 550. B. 760 yen. C. 1,500 yen. D. 2,000 yen. Correct answer is D. What do you think about Bob's hourly wage? Cheap, expensive, or reasonable? What do you think, Miss Ellie? Oh, thank you. I think that's enough for an international student because he receives a salary of 160,000 yen a month. That's higher than the starting salary for Okinawan people. In fact, international students are not allowed to work in most foreign countries. However, it's popular for international students in Australia to both work and study. I thought it's a good point of Australian life. This is what I felt the most. You are responsible for what you do. For example, some students are late for class and skip class. When I look at them, I feel as if I'm watching myself before. I think they will not grow up anymore if they don't change. But I'm different now. After I finished this study tour, I was able to change myself. Before I went to Australia, Miss Miyano told me again and again. But I had no teacher who told me in Australia. Finally, I realized that I depended on others in Okinawa. So I deeply appreciate everything I have experienced in Australia. In our opinions, we felt there is a free atmosphere that's sometimes bad, sometimes good. The bad point is that there are lack of cooperation. On the other hand, the good points are that people can say their opinions and they go their own ways. We thought it's necessary for Japanese people as well. So we should respect our opinions, not only those of others. Thank you. Next, Ichino is talking about homestay.
Next, I'll talk about our homestay. In the study tour, we stayed with a host family for 5 weeks. During the stay, I learned the differences between Australian life and Japan, especially house rules, eating habits, and family relationships. First, I'll talk about house rules. Australians have different rules from Japanese. For example, after school, we go straight home because most shops are closed at 5 p.m. In addition, our host family has very unique house rules. 1. Open the door completely every day. 2. Take a shower for only 5 to 10 minutes. 3. Wash clothes only once a week. And 4. Pray to God before eating. Our culture is different, so we paid careful attention to these points. This is my daily timetable. As you can see, my host family usually goes to bed early. Thanks to them, I was able to keep in a good routine. Second, I'll talk about eating habits. There is no Australian food like Japanese washoku, because Australia has a great variety of cultured cuisines. Australia is also well known for its fresh ingredients such as seafood, local fruits, beef and lamb, as well as world-class cheese. We usually ate bread and fruits for breakfast.
Lunch was always sandwiches and fruits, and meat for dinner. So I never ate Japanese food in my homestay. Third, I'll talk about family relationships. I think family relationships in Australia are closer compared to Japanese family relationships. For example, my host family consists of a mother, a father, one son, and $1. Next, I'll show you my host family's video. This video was shot on their holidays. They always spend time with family on weekends. During my homestay, my host family took me to Kings Park. This is Kings Park. Kings Park is one of the world's largest and most beautiful inner city park. We can relax and go on a picnic, and also we can learn Aboriginal and European history there. And then I often went to Perth City Center. I think in a Perth City Center, you can shop, eat, and be entertained. It is an ideal place for you and your family to spend the day. Next, what is the difference between local people and Japanese people? It is how they spend time with their family on weekends. They do not waste time, and they go to bed early. Finally, in my homestay, I could experience between Australia and Japan. So I had a great experience. Also, I had a good time with my host brother and sister. But sometimes they didn't understand my English because of the difference between American accents and Australian ones. However, my host family tried to understand, and I tried to speak clearly. Homestay is a good environment in which to talk. However, in my opinion, it depends on you whether you can use English well or not. Overseas, you cannot survive if you don't speak up. Taking action is very important for you to grow up more. And also, it's important for us to do our best in any given environment. Thank you.